today I'm here in Venice Beach, surprise, surprise, to talk about this DJI OM5. As you can see, this is the brand new gimbal that folds. But it also can do this. Let's talk about it. By the way, all of that footage is shot using DJI Mimo app in 4K 60 frames per second, and since this video is in 24 frames per second, I was able to slow it down in the parts I want. Alright, now let's get to unboxing. As you can see, DJI OM5, the gimbal formerly known as Osmo Mobile, comes in this nicely designed box. On the side of the box we see some images telling us how tiny and telescopic this gimbal is, and on the back side we see some information regarding the gimbal. Underneath the shrink wrap there's also a seal, and after we peel that off we open the box. Inside the box we're greeted with some basic information and a motivational tagline that sums up this gimbal. Inside that we have the quick start guide and some papers. Underneath that we have the gimbal that looks like besides folding it also wraps around itself. This design makes this gimbal take less space compared to the previous generation. Underneath that we have the magnetic mount, and don't confuse this with Apple's MagSafe, sadly they are not compatible with each other. We have a mini handle extension / mini tripod, a strap, USB-A to USB-C cable, a razor for small phones, a pouch, and that's pretty much it. The gimbal has a tripod mount underneath it where you can also attach this handle / tripod, which makes operating this gimbal a lot easier. Unlocking the mount is easy and the extension rod is sturdy. Once you extend the rod you can also rotate the mount, which is a great help for the angle you like to get. And as you'd expect, the buttons are ergonomic, sturdy and easy to use. We still have the trigger, which is great. And the magnetic mount is pretty strong. And as I mentioned this before, the product is not MagSafe compatible. Don't try it, you will drop your phone. Just like the previous DJI smartphone stabilizer, it is quite simple to attach the magnetic mount on the phone, snap it on the gimbal and just balance it. OM5 doesn't have a 360 rotation in any axis, which is not my favorite thing, but I believe that makes this gimbal stronger against drops. Now, let's get to the Rocky test. Hello, this is Future Faruk. I'm editing this video right now. I just wanted to stop by and tell you what the Rocky test is in case you don't know. It has been a tradition on my channel. It is basically me imitating the iconic scene from the Rocky movie where Sylvester Stallone climbs up the stairs and then the camera, rotates around it. It's a very important scene in the stabilizer world. And what I did in this OM5 review is I ran chasing the runner with 3 different angles: ultra wide angle, and telephoto lens, and I used tracking, so I only concentrated on running and not keeping the person in the frame. Also look, I added some ND filters from moment and it balanced perfectly. It's really good. Now, let's take a look at it and let's see how it turned out. Okay, so now what I'm gonna try to do is, once I have her in the center, I'm gonna hit the trigger and then that's gonna start tracking her. So I will stop worrying about centering her in the frame and I'll just concentrate on running. got you. It's working. Turn to the right side. We found you again.
Find me again? When did it lose me?
I was behind you. Okay, so in case you don't know what a gimbal does, it basically uses its 3 axes and stabilizes whatever it is connected to it. In this case, it is a phone, so as you can see when I move my hand around, it stabilizes the phone as much as it can. So this gives you a better looking video, even though your camera on your phone may have optical image stabilization, electronic image stabilization. This adds on top of that to give you that buttery smooth footage. As you can see with this one, they changed the design. Now the handle is a little different. It's smaller. This is where you can understand the direction you're holding the gimbal. It's not bad. I kind of prefer the other one, which is more like a joystick, but this is not that bad. This sits in your finger and it's easy to control. You can double click on this to change the orientation. You can hit record. Over here we have the zoom rocker to change between lenses or zoom in and zoom out, and we have the mode button here. It's also the on-off button, so it's pretty simple to understand. We also see how much battery we have over here. That's a good indicator to know what's going on, and I've been using this since the morning and I didn't turn it off, even though I've been turning off my phone, and it still has, I guess this means more than 2 dots. So 70%, 75% battery. That's good. The nice thing about this, just like the previous one, is, let me turn it off. It is magnetized. What that means is you can take it off, and this is the mount, but this doesn't support the MagSafe we have on our iPhones. This is separate, so you cannot use this with the MagSafe. But once this is on your phone, you can just fold this away as you wish, and when you see something you can just unfold it and just snap it in there, and you don't need to balance it. You may be asking yourself, why do I need to balance this? Well, actually with these ones, the latest gimbals, you don't need to balance it that much, but it makes things better. So let me show you. If this was unbalanced, let's say it's unbalanced like this, right? Let's turn it on. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna hold the phone in its place. But whenever you bounce up and down, this side is heavier. So this motor here is trying to compensate that, and it's just wasting the battery. That's why it's best to balance this as much as you can, which is not that hard, by the way. Let's see. There you go. It's balanced. Just like that. One thing you will realize is that this joystick is not analog anymore. It is digital. So the second you push it up, it goes up as fast as it is set to, and it goes down as fast as it is set to. Oh, we also have this trigger here, and what the trigger does is when you hold down the trigger, it sets this gimbal to lock mode, which means wherever I turn my hand, the camera is gonna point in the same direction. When I let this go, when I turn left or right, it's gonna look left or right It's just gonna follow my hand up and down. It's just gonna make things smoother. Now let's talk about the telescopic mount. When it's elongated, it is like this. It works fine. You can also bend it like this. So for the low angle, the low angle, you can use it like that. By the way, we have another mount that has some special features. Look at this. This mount is, I think it's more for the times when you're gonna do selfie shoots in the dark. Change the magnitude, you can make it warmer, you can make it colder. So this is great for selfies. Recording with the lights, the beauty light. I feel very beautiful right now. Now I'm gonna turn it off. It's good. I think this can be useful for a lot of vlogging in the dark and stuff. In the end, I think this is a good upgrade to OM4. Even though I feel like I'm going to miss the analog joystick, I'm very impressed by the tracking and how much smaller and compact OM has become. Well, thank you very much for watching this episode, and I hope you enjoyed it. I wanted this episode to be a little different. I wanted to be outside. I'm trying to break away from being stuck on my desk. I want to get out. I want to get out a little bit more. So that's why we're here. That's why we're spending less time in the studio. But as usual, I'm curious about what you think about this. Is this something you want to use? Is this something you have? If you have the previous version, do you think it's worth upgrading to this? What do you think? Let me know in the comment section below. And until I see you the next time, take really good care of yourselves. And hoşça kalın.